Hello, my lovely PowerCats, and welcome back to Along the Edge. Where we last left off, Daphne learned more about her family and the Maltiers, and some drama happened with her and, I keep forgetting her name. I think it's, I don't know, the sister. But yeah, let's see what's going on. Days go by, then weeks, and Yves Maltier is conspicuous by his absence. I try to concentrate on school, but after all the revelations, my mind is often elsewhere. And to top it all off, the principal told me I was going to be inspected by the local education authority, which adds to the general climate of anxiety. I'm in the forest. It's the same dream again, the one I had last month. I have a sense of deja vu, but something has changed. I run to escape the presence that follows me. Once again, I reach the pool in the clearing. I draw closer to glimpse my reflection. It's a different image, as though something has changed. But at the same time, it's more precise, almost more real. I'm wearing a skirt suit, the kind of outfit I've adopted for teaching. My hair is tied in a neat bun. I wear a heavy fringe that covers my forehead. I like this image of myself, so adult and responsible. I touch the reflection, and, after a moment of darkness, I'm back in the garden. When I come to the statue of the Sphinx, her gaze is different. She looks ahead with defiance and determination. That's when everything changes. I'm driven by the strength and stability that seems to emanate from the statue. This time, I don't let myself fall into the darkness. This time, I find the courage to turn around and confront the threat the Sphinx stares. Her gaze immovable. That's when I see the beast for the first time. We watch each other for a second that seems to last forever. Then the beast hurls itself at me. It's at that moment that when its claws are poised to lacerate my belly, that I shudder awake. Chapter 5. December. I'm getting ready to go to the market when I hear a car coming up the lane. I think immediately of Frank, who said he'd be back very soon, must be eager to see me. To my surprise, a large black sedan parks in the yard. When I see a large gray-haired figure emerge from the driver's side, I realize it's Yves Maltier. To be honest, more than 1 month after the cocktail party, I gave him up waiting for him. He waves to me, goes around the car, takes a big file from the passenger seat, then walks in my direction. He brandishes the file like a trophy. Good morning, Daphne. As you can see, my daughter and I have been working very hard. I'm sure. I'm listening. Ah, thank you for giving me a little overtime. You'll see, it's a very attractive project. He wants to put a door inside the tower, probably. The general idea would be to open the tower to the tourists during the summer season. Sure. We could do guided tours, and there's the library. You mean there's a library inside the tower? Oh, didn't you know? Haven't you been inside the tower? Interesting. Meaning... Never mind. Would you mind if we go inside? We'd be more comfortable. It's rather chilly today. He thinks that she's been practicing witchcraft in there. Uh-oh. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Mr. Beardteen walking up the lane, a rifle in his hand. Hello, Miss Daphne. Hello, Maltier. He stands at my side, gun in hand, as if ready to use it. He probably is. Are you alright? I hope Mr. Maltier isn't bothering you. You might want to stick around. I could use your gun. But then again, something might happen to you, though, so... Because he's a sorcerer. Listen, Gerard. I was chatting with Miss Delator. Would you mind giving us some privacy, please? Mr. Maltier was about to leave. Yeah, get out of here. Mr. Miltier was about. We hear a car coming up the lane and direct our attention to the entrance of the yard. A small rental car drives in and parks near the front door. A tall, middle-aged woman climbs out of the car and walks towards us with an assured pace. Oh, I knew it! I had a feeling it was gonna be the mom. It is! It's the mom! Sophie Delatour. I can see it's high time I got here. After all these years in Asia, you come over back into Europe. Looking at Yves Maltier, she says, "Hello, Daphne. Gerard." "Yes, madam." "Please fire a warning shot, will you?" Mr. Bridgerton looks at me, waiting for a confirmation. As I don't react, he complies and fires into the air. His smile gone, Yves watches mother, warily. "Look, Sophie, be reasonable. We haven't seen each other in 30 years. Do you really want—" Completely ignoring Yves Maltier, my mother turns to Mr. Bridgerton. "Gerard?" "Yes, madam." I authorize you to fire a second shot at Yves if he hasn't left the property within 30 seconds. You're really bossy, but at the same time, you know what you're doing, so I like that. Very well, madam. Then please, take my luggage up to the yellow bedroom in the west wing. Of course, madam. Oh, and send Gilbert over. Please, I'd like her to make us coffee. Why don't you make your own coffee? I need to talk to my daughter. You mean boss your daughter around? I follow Mom into the living room. A few seconds later, we hear tires squeal in the courtyard. Then the sound of the engine fades into the distance. Did you get my letter? Yeah, you're... Yes, but in September, as you can see, I already accepted the inheritance. Ah. You could have reacted sooner. If it was so important that I refused for my own well-being, you should have told me sooner. I'm sorry, but... Man, so how young is Daphne? Sophie looks... kind of like a little bit older, but not as old as I thought she'd be. I'm sorry, but it's not my fault if you change your address without even informing your own mother. I mean, you're the one that disowned Daphne. And I assure you, I came back as fast as I possibly could. How can you doubt it? But it seems it was already too late. What were you doing in Asia? When you got your scholarship and your life was on track, I didn't have to worry about your future any longer. So I decided to go back to school. I had enough of going from one crappy job to another, so I took a correspondence course in international trade. 3 years ago, I was hired by an investment bank. They offered me a promotion, but I had to move to Hong Kong. So you're in China. Since you'd cut your ties with me, I thought you were safe, at least, safe from these family issues. So I agreed to go. How could I have known your grandmother would pull this trick on me? Even from her grave, she's still a nuisance. I sent you the letter as soon as I heard your grandmother was dead. The family notary contacted me about it, out of courtesy. I wanted to take a leave of absence, but I was working on a big deal, and my bosses insisted that I stay until we signed. Obviously, it took a lot longer than I would have liked. Something doesn't add up. You were the direct heiress, so you should have been the one to succeed, shouldn't you? Your grandmother made me sign a paper stipulating that I renounced the inheritance when I left the village. I thought I would protect you too, but I'm not a lawyer, and knowing your grandmother, she must have found a way to bend the law to her liking. Knowing her, she would have guessed it would happen that way. I mean, I guess she's trying to protect her, but like, if the tower really is this powerful thing, it would be it would be wise to protect it and not let the Miltiers have it. So she should not have left, I don't think. I would have stayed. I honestly would have stayed behind and be like, hey, protect the tower. You have to explain. Grandmother seems to have planned everything to make sure I got the house. But you're telling me I should have refused the inheritance? I know the village is a nest of vipers, with the Miltiers and the Delatour's reputation. But don't you think I had the right to my know my origins? Yeah, cause like, I'm still thinking about how like, Daphne didn't know the Delators have issues having kids. So if she had known that, she probably wouldn't have lost her baby, because she wouldn't have, like, you know. Anyway. I don't think you grasped the gravity of the situation. Until now, Yves didn't know you existed. Now he knows who you are. That changes everything. Tell me then, why did you cut me off from the rest of the family? Why did you put so much effort into keeping me in the dark? Fine, listen to me carefully and be honest with me, can you? I nod in agreement. Have you been having strange dreams? Yeah. Yes, I have been having a recurrent dream about a sphinx and a kind of creature. Ah, I knew it. But she cuts me off before I could continue. Have there been strange accidents since you arrived here? I didn't do it on purpose, because, like, I'm gonna have to admit, like, her eyes turned blue when she got hurt, and, well, her eyes glowed blue, and, yeah. Yes, that's happened, but how could I have known I was capable of that? It's worse than I thought. No one told me. She raised her hand at me, impatient at my excuses. Another thing, have you found the entrance of the tower? No, I haven't, and no one was able to tell me where it was. Good. What do you think is inside? Stores magical energy. The tower is built on some kind of vortex of magical energy, right? In fact, it's built on the old place of worship, and more importantly, it contains the archives. The archives? Well, yes. I don't know what you imagine, but the reality is certainly far less exciting than your very active imagination. I hadn't noticed her entrance, but Mrs. Beertine is here with some coffee for us. Gaberte? Yes, madam? Tell Gerald to come to the basement. No hello, no hi, nice to see you. You're just bossing people around. God, you're entitled. Very well, madam. Will that be all? I hate when, like, people talk to their staff like that. Like, come on. Be nice to them. No, tell him to bring a pickaxe, please. So it was sealed up. It was sealed. I follow Mom to the basement. We go through the wine cellar. Then we take a corridor. We go through one small room, then another filled with stacked up old furniture. A old tapestry depicting a hunt almost entirely covers the wall in front of us. The tapestry is partly covering it. I don't remember finding this room during my expeditions to search for the tower entrance. Do you feel it? I move closer to the wall, feeling for a draft or a small change of temperature that would reveal the location of a door. No, I'm sorry. What am I supposed to feel? Relief sweeps across my mother's face, her features relaxing instantly. I'm about to speak again when we hear a noise behind us. Ah, here comes Gerard. Gerard, can you take down the tapestry, please? Mr. Beertine complies. I hurry to help him. Let Gerard do it. Daphne, you'll get dirty. Mom, you're pushing it. Mr. Beertine is not your slave. Ha! Ha! Thank you, Daphne. Yes, you're right. I've hardly arrived here, and I'm back to my old ways. When I left everything behind so that you wouldn't be raised with these horrendous values. Excuse me, Gerard. I'll be more considerate. Thank you. You know, my good brother and I are happy to lend a hand. And we're not doing it for you, but for your daughter. Oh, snap! Just don't forget we're retired. We're not as strong as we were. We moved the tapestry to the other side of my room. Mom and I are on one side, Mr. Beertine on the other. Can you break the wall, Gerard? She points to a spot in the middle of the wall. There are some planks behind the plaster. It shouldn't give you much resistance. A few minutes later, the planks that hid the entrance to the tower had been torn away, revealing a wooden door. Wow! I never would have guessed the door was there. Mom opens the drawer of a nearby cupboard and takes out a large ornate key. Do you want to see what's inside, Gerard? Oh no, madam. I'll have plenty of time to look later. You must have had a lot to discuss with your daughter. I'll head back to the lodge if you don't need a man along. Of course. Thank you, Gerard. Mr. Beertine gives us a nod. Oh, and Gerard? Yes. Thank you for taking care of Daphne in my absence. Oh, thank you. Well, yeah. We enter the tower, and after climbing a flight of wooden stairs, we come to a large room plunged in shadow. Mom takes a candelabra from a table and lights the candles with the matches that have been left next to it. Some really old matches. Then she proceeds to light the other candles around the room, till a soft light gradually illuminates the large circular space. Wow. The floor is made of huge granite stone carved with interlacing geometric shapes. Kind of like petroglyphs? The Celtic origins are obvious in the patterns used, and the way the ornamentation has been done, but they are very well preserved, in contrast to the most ancient ruins exposed to the centuries of bad weather. Yeah. Can you imagine how this place smells? Like, not in a bad way, but just like, kind of like an old library or like an old book. That's what I imagine this place smelling like. The walls are covered with shelves loaded with documents, books, with leather covers, and scrolls rolled up upon themselves. We are silent for a while, then Mom says, "This is your inheritance, Daphne." What are all these books? This is the memory of the village. The most ancient ones were written by our ancestors 1,000 years ago. So would it be like in, runes then, rather than like our modern English? It'd be like in like their language, like Futhark and stuff. I know Futhark is for like the Norse people, but like, pretty sure the Celtic people had their own thing too. The tower was built on the site of the old place of worship because there seems to be some kind of magnetic field that helps preserve them. It's a bit far-fetched, but yes. I guess a local perturbation in the magnetic field of the planet could explain it. I suppose if I brought up a compass here, the needle would spin erratically, wouldn't it? Mom looks at me dubiously. What? I can be a scientist and still be open-minded. You're on the site of an ancient place of pilgrimage, a place where they performed the miracles. When the country was colonized and the inhabitants were forced to convert to the new religion, the region closed in upon itself. Our ancestors built the tower and began to compile all the oral knowledge of the old times. Man, I wish, like, I know it takes place on Earth, but I wish, like, actual, like, people did that to, like, protect it and stuff. Rather than having Christians write stuff down and, like, it'd be, like, fake as hell. The Delators, the order of the priestesses, welcomed the representatives of the other cults. They came from everywhere, escaping persecution and doing what they could to ensure that their knowledge wasn't lost. To sum it up, you're in one of the largest libraries of occult knowledge in the world. We return in silence to the living room. The atmosphere is oppressive. I can feel that what just happened will have a huge impact on my future. Mom takes an armchair. I sit on the sofa. Do you understand why Yves Maltier must not at any price get into the tower? Yeah. Because it would give them even more power in the village. Exactly. I'm relieved to see you don't seem to have any predisposition for the miracles. But do you understand why our ancestors protected the library? I like this house and I love my job. All I want is for the Maltiers to leave me in peace. In that case, you have to fight, even if you're even if it's against your nature. You have to make a stand in the village. I'd rather reach a truce with the Maltiers. You don't have to strike back. We could wait and see what Yves thinks of next, and then react accordingly. Exactly. But enough about that. Tell me about your life and everything I've missed. Well, she had a miscarriage, because no one told her that her family has issues with having kids due to a curse. Mom and I stay there for a while, chatting in the living room. Then I gotta pick up some groceries at the market and we prepare dinner together, both enjoying this renewed affinity. Uh-oh. Oh, God. A couple of days later, I'm at the bakery getting some bread. Just as I've paid and am leaving, I find myself face to face with Soline Maltier and her son. That's her name, Soline. I thought it was like Soul something. There's a moment of surprise, then just as I'm about to greet her, so lets loose a torrent of yelling. Oh, well done. I'm glad I bumped into you. I haven't had a chance to congratulate you on the classy way you welcomed my father. I tried to be nice. I even agreed to have coffee with you, despite the reputation of the Delators. And 2 weeks later, you greet my father with a rifle. You're lucky my son's here, or I'd... It wasn't her, you Karen. It was her mom. I'm sorry, but your father didn't choose the ideal moment. Oh, sure, it's because of Sophie, right? Like mother, like daughter. I don't even know why I'm surprised. You are a witch. Literally. But you are a witch. Like, both figuratively and literally. You are so hateful. Look, Celine, I'm sorry. He's made you do all that work on the file. But I never asked him to make me any offers. You're right. I keep forgetting you're just a school teacher. It's not as if you knew the meaning of hard work. Speaking of which, I have to go. Personally, I have work to do. Hard work? She went to school for 10 years to get a doctorate and be a scientist. You, nothing more than a pencil pusher that has babies for your freaking dad, who's a sorcerer. He doesn't even care about you. He just wants your son. Your brother even said that. God, you're mean. She turns away. Her attitude hurts. The way her father has manipulated her. What a shame. With all the excitement, Mom's return leaves me all tear. I have a hard time falling asleep that night. I'm pretty crabby as I eat my breakfast the next morning. The fact that I woke up way too early probably hasn't helped my state of mind. And then I had the dream again last night. Even if I try to think about them, the strange dreams tend to upset my skeptical mind. I really don't need this kind of distraction right now, with the threat of a visit from the National Education Inspector, and with the opportunity to become a permanent teacher that Mr. Chastanet mentioned a few weeks ago. I can't risk putting my professional future in jeopardy. I'm mulling this over as I put on a camisole and skirt. Now my usual outfit, which has become a kind of uniform since I heard about the possibility of a spot inspection on my teaching methods. With the lack of sleep, I can feel a migraine coming on. Oh no, something's gonna happen. Without really thinking about it, I put on my reading glasses that lie on the bedside table, hoping to alleviate the pain. Something's gonna happen to her. As I check myself in the mirror, I'm assaulted by the insidious feeling that something is wrong. I take some time to contemplate my reflection. Glasses are a step in the right direction. I tell myself I should keep them on all day. Cut her hair. Her hair! Her hair's gonna change. I think that out of vanity. I used to prefer to put up with eye fatigue rather than be seen in public with glasses on. Maybe it's because of the dream, little as I want to be influenced by such irrational ideas. I still feel an uncontrollable need to give myself a makeover, to leave nervous, insecure student Daphne behind for good. Since I got up at dawn and I don't have my first class till 10 a.m., I decided to ring the village hair salon to see if I can book an appointment. I've been putting this off for a while, and I tell myself that getting a trim would certainly put me in a better mood. 15 minutes later, I'm sitting in the front of the mirror, and the hairstylist is handing me a magazine with a profusion of styles to choose from. I leaf through it, looking without much hope for a cut that might suit me. A couple of seats away, Mrs. Lionel, the grocer, is chatting with her neighbor as she waits for her perm to set. I'm having a good time. It's a beautiful winter's day. Outside it's cold, but the salon is well heated and cozy. I'm about to ask for just a trim when the hairdresser leans over the magazine with an inspired look. That's a good choice. I think that style would suit you perfectly. I look down and realize it's opened on a picture of a youthful face topped with a heavy fringe. We've got enough length and the perfect hair texture for that kind of cut. Shall we begin? I nod in agreement, as if pushed by unsettling momentum. We chat as she snips my hair. I tell her I need to look perfectly groomed for my inspection. Mrs. Lionel, who has been moved to the seat next to mine, tells us that the man from the local education authority arrived in the village this morning. Long strands of auburn hair pile up in my lap. giving off an agreeable scent of hair products. Half an hour later, a cloud of hairspray designed to hold my bun in place, and it's the final touch to my new look. I take a minute to check my reflection before rising from the chair. The mirror shows a woman who has finally ridden herself of the trappings of her teenage years, a woman who is sure of herself, a professional. With a small smile, I pay then, I climb into my car to go and perform my duties. When I get to the school, a man in a suit waits for me in front of the classroom. He introduces himself as Mr. Mueller, National Education Inspector. He tells me he'll be following me all day, observing the way I teach. I'm glad to be freshly out of the salon. It gives me a renewed confidence. My students are a bit surprised to see my new look, but are kind enough not to make any remarks. Mr. Mueller takes a seat at the back of the classroom. I try my best to pretend he's not there. He's taking notes, and I see him smile when I manage to explain a complex notion clearly. At the end of the day, we shake hands. He compliments my professionalism and my methods with enthusiasm. That's good. As I drive into the yard, I see Frank's van is already there. I'm glad he's back. He's been away a long time. As I get out of the car, I see him waiting for me in Adolre. Hello, madam. I'm looking for Daphne Delatour. I was told she lives here. Yes, I had a haircut. Do you like it? Looks like you've embraced your inner sexy librarian. It suits you. It looks really cute on her. It looks really good. I like it. She looks kind of like a girl I knew back then. Thank you. Any connection with your mother's return? No, not at all. I had to do it for myself. So have you met Mom? Yes, and she asked me to tell you she was retiring to her chambers. That you shouldn't wait dinner for her. The mood changes suddenly. Frank looks at me seriously. Sorry to ambush you like this at the end of the school day, but we have to talk, Daphne. This month I spent in the city has helped me put things in perspective. Besides, I saw Victor, you know, my old friend. Yes, I remember him. He's thinking about taking over a business, a retirement. He asked me to become his business partner. So that changes my plans, and you and I need to make a decision. Of course, it's no secret that I want us to get back together, but with this new opportunity, I can't wait for you any longer. So here's the deal. Option 1, we're a couple, and you and I say no to Victor and I move in with you. Option number 2, you don't want me or you're not ready to commit. In that case, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to give up on this opportunity. I don't like ultimatums. You know, I hate having a gun to my head. I know, but you have to understand that I can't stay indefinitely in this uncertain situation. I mean, you have to make a decision. Either way, either you make a firm commitment to be with me, or I move back to the city. Well, I already snubbed, Stan, so... And I honestly think that we could get back together. But I can't keep indulging you, waiting for you to decide anymore. Stay with me. Stay with me, I'm ready. Yay! Are you sure? Are you ready to put up with me until the day you die, for better or worse? Commit. I'm ready, let's stay together. Frank puts a knee to the ground, takes a small box out of his pocket. Oh! Aww. Aww. There are tears in my eyes, my heart is slumping. Daphne Delatour, will you marry me? I agree. Yes, I will. When I wake up, Frank is sleeping like a baby next to me. Just seeing him there in my bed reassures me. I decided to let him sleep, and I go downstairs to have some breakfast. It's going to be a busy day. After everything that's happened, Yves Maltier, Mom coming back, and in particular my renewed vows of love and fidelity with Frank. People are counting on me, and I mustn't let them down. Then I drive to school to start my day. The holiday season arrived fast. I spent it at home with Mom and the bird teens. It's much more lively at the castle now with Mom and Frank, who can't stop bickering with each other. Yusmo Tier hasn't shown up, not since he came to present his offer to me when Mom got in the way of his plans. I decided not to worry about it for the time being. I need time to get my head around everything I've learned. I feel potent in the face of this threat, but I know my best weapon against the local dogmatism is still my skeptical scientific mind. I've used the school break to prepare my classes in advance, and I'm immersed in the program of the next semester. It helps take my mind off things. Preparing basic geometry exercises helps clear my head. Of course, Frank was eager to see the inside of the tower. But when I showed him the library, he was mainly interested in the carpentry of the ceiling. Apparently the construction is exceptionally sturdy and well maintained. Well, yeah, it's like 1,000 years old. It's wooden. And yet, perhaps it's foolish, but the way he looks at things, his down-to-earth nature, helps keep things in perspective. I still have the strange dreams, but they're different now. I'm still in the forest, but there's no more pool, no more sphinx. I've given up trying to make sense of it. Each time the dream ends with the encounter with the strange beast, we watch each other. I feel like it's trying to tell me something, but it can't speak. As if it wanted something from me. Then it hurls itself at me and I wake up with a jolt. Chapter 6. Well, that was a really interesting chapter. I really like that. Of course, this is all we have for the day. If you want to follow my social media, links are in the description. If you want to subscribe, like, comment, share, go for it. I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Goodbye.